Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle, and welcome to Hard to Be Me TV. We are in Ingalls, Oklahoma on this video, and you're going to be visiting a ghost town with me. This is going to be the first of many adventures that I hope you'll come along with me on. I hope you enjoy the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me about the playground equipment you remember growing up around. There's some that I found here in a local park near me that has a cannon. Oddly enough, there is a cannon in this park. And so I just thought it would be fun to come and make an intro at a playground since we discussed it early on in this video. And I thought, well, they have some older play equipment at this one. And so I came to film it as well. And I found a cannon. This is just kind of a crazy thing. I don't know if any of you have ever been to a playground where they've had a cannon in the play area, but obviously here they have that. Tell me about the play equipment where you're at and what it's like. Tell me what you remember playing on when you were a kid. I think it's so much fun to reminisce like this. So definitely watch the video, definitely subscribe, like and comment. And I hope you'll follow me on many more adventures. Welcome to Hard to Be Me TV. Welcome back, everybody, to Hard to Be Me TV. Today we're in Oklahoma, and we are in, what is this called? Ingalls. It is a ghost town. And one of the things I first noticed when we came in here was all of this play equipment. And this play equipment is really quite fun because when I was a kid, all of the play equipment was metal and chains and hard. And here we did it. We lived and we survived this play equipment. But here it is, right here in Ingalls at their still active church. Check this out. They have the metal swing sets. Oh my goodness, these used to be so hot to hold. And look at this old seats. Aren't these cool? Imagine how many people have sat here and swung. And you can see some remnants right here of where the plastic used to cover this to wrap it so on your hands it wouldn't hurt so much or pinch you, but it will do all of the above when it's gone. Isn't that neat? I haven't seen a swing set like that in years. How cool. And look at all the teeter-totters. They even have the little seats cut out where your legs can fit in and you can hold on. Look at this. This is incredible. The merry-go-round. You just sit on here and somebody twirled you around till you flew off. We just fly right off. Look at that. And it was all metal and it was usually black. And look, it still turns. Oh, imagine how many kids were on that having a great time. How cool. So this is the church behind us, and it looks like it's still in use today here in Ingalls. And Ingalls is now just a ghost town, but I want to show you what remains. It's really quite cool. There's a little general store, and when I say little, I mean it's little. And next door is to that is some bigger building, which I can only assume would be the local hotel. And so we're going to go over here and we're going to take a look. I'm just going to cross the street kind of safely here because we got a car coming. So we're going to pause just a moment. And I'm going to turn the camera around. I want you to see where we are. This is in Ingalls, Oklahoma. Check this out. This little building right here is the general store. This little one that's hidden by this tree is the general store. Look at that. Isn't that something? I mean, how many products could they hold in this little building at once? Well, obviously all they needed, all that was requested. And if you look up here at the top, you'll see the sign that says General Store. Isn't that something? We'll see if we can take a peek inside, but look at the porch. It's just kind of worn away with all of the traffic walking in, walking out. This was all they needed, just a little building like this to get what was functional for their day. Look and see what we can see inside. I don't know if you can see inside or not, but look at that. Very tiny, very few pieces in there, but it had everything that you needed. Everything you needed. And here, this building next door, look at this. This probably was the hotel, and they have covered the sides with this tin to kind of keep the wood. But look at the front. Look at the front of this building. And here our hitching post again. We talked about this when we were in Dodge City, but look at this hitching post. Years and years, and they put some barbed wire on it to try to hold it together, but it looks like it's just finally given in, finally given in. Look at this. This is absolutely stunning. They have a camera up here and it says private property, so we're going to respect that. We just want to come and take a look and enjoy this piece of history that still remains here, and see what life used to be like before it was what it is today. This is our roots. This is where we got started. You can only imagine what was behind here. This was where your horses would drink, probably out of these bins back here, or maybe they stored grain. Who knows? But it's good to question these things. Like, this is all they needed to survive: a hotel and a general store and a church. It's really something. It almost makes you wonder what was back here. It looks like at some point there might have been another building. It's actually being used as a driveway right now. But we are in the middle of what would have been at one point Ingalls, Oklahoma. I don't know what this building would have been either, but it has a brick and mortar kind of structure in the back. I don't know if that was added later, but this looks period to the hotel and the general store. I don't know what this would have been. But how phenomenal to see this, to have this still here for everyone to see. Oh, how fascinating. Back door. I just really think that is cool. And again, this is private property, so we don't want to intrude. We don't want to cross any lines. We don't want to try to get in these buildings or do anything like that. We just want to appreciate the fact that they're here and that we can come through what's now a ghost town and see what remains and know where we came from, know how we got our beginnings. I mean, we went from a general store of this tiny little building over here and this 2-story hotel and this other structure, whatever it might be, and that was all we needed. All we needed to have a community start. And now this community's kind of died off. I don't think the railroad came through here, so maybe that's what happened. Who knows? I'd like to find out more. Maybe we'll do some history on it, and I'll include it in this vlog. But I just wanted to show you this cute little ghost town right here in Ingalls, Oklahoma. Right, y'all, welcome back to Ingalls, Oklahoma. We're out here and we're just down the street from the general store and the hotel, or what we believe to be the hotel in the general store. And there's a building that's just down from that. I would believe it is a house, and I'll show you that. And I have another interesting thing I want to show you. So just give me a minute. There's a couple cars going to come by, and then if they come by this way, we'll just let the dust settle a little bit and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, we are back, and you can see there's a little bit of dust in here. Forgive that. But here is the house that's just down the street. Okay, so maybe back here a little bit, you can see where the buildings are that we were at. They were right in this area right here, and this right here in this area is a little house, and if you can see it there, and it looks like out back it has some sort of little pump house. And again, this is private property. It's on private property in Oklahoma. They have a make my day law, so you don't want to step on anybody's property without permission, because if you do, you might just get shot. So be warned. I don't want you stepping on anything that will get you in trouble. We just want to see the history, know the history, be part of the history, remember our history. But something that was really cool too, so you see a couple of street signs up that way, and if you just turn this way, we're on the intersection of 19th Street and 3rd Avenue. I'll get a little closer so the sign will be clearer. And I want to show you this intersection because it's like none I've ever seen. Okay, so here we are at the intersection of 19th and 3rd Avenue. Okay, well, 19th Street is very clearly visible. 3rd Avenue, a little different story. I think we can tell there was once a road here. Look at there, maybe coming into view, we can kind of see where a road might have been. And this side, you can see where a road might have gone into the distance beyond the trees there. But I've just never seen an intersection that didn't have an intersection. It's literally a road to nowhere right here in Ingalls, Oklahoma. How interesting. And I just thought that was a fun little thing to show you. So now you've seen a road that goes nowhere too. All right, we're just down the other direction from the 3rd Avenue 19th Street intersection that absolutely goes nowhere. And we're at a marker, and let's find out what this marker is about. Look at this. It says, in memory of U.S. Marshals Dick Speed, Tom Houston, and Leif Shadley, who fell in the line of duty September 1st, 1893, by Dalton and Doolin gangs. We're going to go out here pretty soon, and I'm going to show you where the Dalton gang was. That is an absolutely fascinating story, and I can't wait to share it with you. But we'll go check out the Dalton gang some other day. I do want to show you that there was a battle here in 1893 here in Ingalls, and we're going to show you the sign and give you the information. Oh, and it shows our road map here. Look at here. 3rd Street is where we just were, and 2nd Street is the Stone Mine is where we're at now. 2nd Street is where the hotel and that was, and 3rd Street was the road to nowhere. I don't know what's on 4th, but now let's read this sign here. What does this say? The Battle of Ingalls, 1893, with a population of a whopping 150 people. On the morning of September 1st, 1893, the area around the sign was the scene of one of the fiercest gunfights in the history of the state. Ingalls at that time was the hideout for Bill Doolin gang. It included Arkansas Tom Bitter Creek Yoakum and Bill Dalton, a brother of the infamous Daltons who attacked Coffeyville, Kansas. These men, in a sense, owned the town. Many of the townsfolk were grateful to them because they spent money generously and created much commerce for their growth. That's nice. When the lawmen in Guthrie and Stillwater found out the outlaws were in Ingalls, they formed a posse to capture them. A gunfight ensued, and the outlaws escaped with the exception of Arkansas Tom, who was captured. 3 U.S. deputy marshals and 1 local citizen were killed. The Doolin gang more or less fell apart after the Ingalls raid. Well, again, I'm telling you, we're going to find out what the Dalton gang story is, because we're going to go there at some point. But the Doolin gang I've not heard about. This is something new for me in the history of this area. So the Dalton gang, though, is in Kansas, and we will eventually get there, and I'll show you that too. But this here has some markers on it. Here, this little asterisk you can see is the stone monument, which is where we're at right now, and the X represents where the deputy was killed, which would be where this sign right here is. So where we're standing from the marker would be exactly where the deputy was killed. Wow. Wow, that's something to know, that this piece of ground you're standing on, somebody was shot and killed in. I think that we take for granted that we walk on ground all the time, but we forget the bloodshed that happened under our feet. And it's a beautiful thing to take a moment to respect the history of this man who died in this town, who helped to defend and grow this town. His money he spent in here helped the commerce and helped the town to grow. And this is where this man breathed his last breath. And just a moment of respect for that, just a moment of calm and prayer that he's in some place that's better and more peaceful, and not reliving this war every day. But definitely much respect for these people that helped to build Ingalls, Oklahoma. Let's see. Well, that's going to do it for Ingalls, Oklahoma. We found out some interesting things. We saw a road to nowhere, an intersection that really didn't exist, and it was just kind of fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a little something, and maybe you'll go check it out yourself someday. One day soon, we're going to go check out the Dalton gang, I promise. I have some footage of that already, and it's a very interesting story. I do hope that you'll follow along for the journey and other adventures that we're going to go on. Again, my name is Michelle, and this is Hard to Be Me TV. Please subscribe if you like what you see, hit like, and leave us a comment. We'll be sure to return all the comments that we can and utilize all the information. I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for watching.